Poems of Narad, from Towards the Life Divine, Part 3. The Source of Our Divinity. I see a child sitting by the road, as deafening mortars shatter nearby trees, his body shaking as the bombs explode, his matchstick arms clasped around his knees. In the still hour, when night begins to fold upon itself, and half the world asleep, when rain and flood and misery and cold through town and village, mind and body seep, I walk among the grieving things of earth, aware that all the world is fraught with grief. Of magic and mystery there is no dearth, and beauty shakes me like a falling leaf. Peering through the looking glass of mind, I watch my father, young with energy and boundless will, who seeking could not find in life's tableau the key to mastery. Concealed against the facile outer view, the forces descending hide in their own light, upend our lives, our certainties undo, demand we see the world with keener sight. The realization locked within the cells, and we, the finite of his infinity, are called as with the sound of temple bells to find the source of our divinity. Move on, move on. I thought I knew the province of the soul, untouched by human grief and tragedy. But now I walk unmindful of the goal, caught in a tape loop of past memory, beset by poignancy, and moved to tears by others' pain and sorrow I embrace, or to impotent anger at the years of inability to keep a pace, my spirits soaring in my anguished mind. I know that all the love the heart could bear remains a constant, though the eyes are blind, and blankly at the future's brilliance stare. Move on, the timeless voices call. Rise up and cast from thee death's somber pall. The rivers of compassion. I felt the fire in me sputter low, and knew I would have many births to go, and countless raging rivers still to ford, legions of random thoughts to overthrow, a host of inner voices to be ignored. I stood alone in the autumnal light, far from the vision and the inner sight that brought me here, a pilgrim soul aspiring to find the one who rent the veils of night. And I, estranged from soul and wondering, how fell I down from the anointed state, when all my striving spirit's thirst to sate was yet unfilled, the calm that I must be, a distant star above my unknown fate. Then the rivers of compassion covered me. The peace that inner silence brings, too. And though my poems prove valueless to men, woven in this dress of earthly life, poorly robed and sadly ill-defined, still would I write these lines that, drifting down like snow upon the silent floor of night, to honor the muses of eternity. Unskilled as poet, undoubtedly no sage, I grasp the hem of thoughts that will not die. I have no private cache of well-turned words, or phrases to impress the literate fold, and I would borrow not from others' gold to speak the syllables that alter time. Perhaps these thoughts are chimeras of mind, but only in my deeper self I find the key to all our endless questionings, and reach the sun-strewn fields where my delight joins with all the grieving things of earth. I see anew the world with second sight, and live the peace that inner silence brings. White, eternal hour, the season of chrysanthemums arrives, and the long, languorous days of autumn gold. I still cannot recall my former lives, yet in my body feel the ancient cold creep in when wintry sun is slow to wake, who slowly stills the ardor of his fires. But this I know, my present life remake I must, and soon, before the spirit tires of lassitude of will that stays the stress of beauty pressing down, and all the power preparing to descend in earthly dress, and love that waits its white eternal hour.